Let's get more on the latest situation in Beirut now. I'm joined now by Badih Ghazzawi from the Islamic Welfare Association, who are partnering with the Muslim Hands Group to provide help on the ground. A very warm welcome to the programme to you. Listen, aside from the tragic loss of life and the very many being treated in hospital for injuries, several thousand people have been rendered homeless as a result of this. What have you been able to do to try and help with that?
First of all, thank you for this opportunity. Yes, unfortunately, it's a tragedy, and like around 300,000 people are affected directly from this. 60,000 families, roughly, from this blast. So, first of all, what we try to do in collaboration with Muslim Hands UK is to provide them with the basic need that they need as a very urgent and short term, which is food, bread, and water. And try to make a shelter kit to try to provide, some of the buildings are shattered completely, some of them collapsed, and some of them shattered partially. So those who shattered partially, we are trying to give them shelter kit. And also we are working on providing some medical kits that we have shortage in, because we've got around 5,000 injured people, unfortunately. And we still got hundreds that are under the destruction and are not reported yet if they're still alive or not, or dead. So basically, this is the very short-term intervention. And inshallah, there's a plan for mid-term and a long-term to help those people.
And just in the short term, I mean, there's no clean drinking water, limited power supply, and that was before the blast. How difficult are the conditions for working on the ground?
After this blast, it turned out from a very civilized place to a totally desert. It's a blackout, no electricity, no water, nothing that's available for the citizens and people that are living in that area. So it's quite difficult. And unfortunately, what happened, most of the supplies in the harbor of Beirut, which is the main vein of Lebanon, will make another catastrophe to provide the main things, the main supplies that are stored in that facility. So it's not quite good, because half of the medical supplies that are stored there are destroyed, and also the food for 6 months, especially the wheat, are destroyed as well. So trying to get supplies is getting more challenging, and will get more challenging on the next days or months.
Listen, you were already in Beirut, working in Lebanon, weren't you, before this happened, trying to help with the Syrian refugee crisis. I wonder how much worse the situation is being made by this, and whether you think that the Lebanese are being failed by their own authorities.
Well, unfortunately, I can't talk about the authorities, but what happened, I would just want to emphasize on our humanitarian aspect, humanitarian work that we could work. So in collaboration with local NGOs like ISWA in Lebanon, and international NGOs as Muslim Hands and other international partners, we emphasize on providing only and looking only at the humanitarian aspect to provide help. And yes, we've got, you are aware, we've got like around 1.7 million refugees among Syrian families and Palestinian families as well. It is already challenging. We've got shortage of everything, and we are trying to help them as much as we could. Now it's getting even worse, and we've got the local community, the Lebanese community, is also now in need. So this makes, unfortunately, there is a social cohesion, but in this manner, it's going to be a little bit negative, because social cohesion, everyone now is struggling, especially if you are aware about the economical situation in Lebanon and how much high the inflation rate raised since the beginning of the year till June, which is around 560%, which is alone very challenging. Also, we've got lack of fuel, lack of medicine, lack of food supplies. And now I don't know how we could help and support, but all I know that we all are in big need and help and big need for help and support from whoever could. And, Muslim Hands is one of the NGOs that rushed immediately to support us, to support all the infected people.
And do you believe that supplies and aid is getting through effectively? Because we've been speaking to people on the ground there who fear that certainly financial aid will just go into the wrong hands. I mean, how hopeful or faithful are you that, any aid pledged to you will get to the people that most need it?
So just to give you an idea, and I just want to highlight on what the French president, he was visiting us today, and what he said that the people will be supporting the people. I mean, he is indicating the French people will be supporting the Lebanese community. And exactly this is the role of NGOs. The people, which is the NGOs, are supporting the people, which are the local NGOs here in Lebanon. And basically what we are doing here, NGOs among themselves, the local NGOs here, we are collaborating with each other and coordinating to try to help from all areas now in Beirut, all together, hand to hand. And by this way, this is, I think, the most efficient and effective way where we could support people, because it is based on people and there's no third party among this.
OK, Badih Ghazzawi from the Islamic Welfare Association, thanks very much for speaking to us and best of luck with your important work. Thank you.
Thank you.